a genocide. To join me in that important discussion today, I have a leading Nigerian Christian leader, a cleric that is based in Jos, Plateau State, but that hails from Borno, is the president of Hel Buba Outreach Ministries International. I'd like to welcome two inside sources, joining us virtually, Prophet Isa Hel Buba. Prophet, good to see you on Inside Sources.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure joining you today, and thank you for doing a great work. And Nigerians, I want to thank you for joining us to have this discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what we try to do on Inside Sources is to look at the future of the country. And, you know, I want to put it to you very directly that now we have a governor, a sitting governor, an official of state, confirming and making a declaration that what is happening in parts of the country, specifically in Plateau State, is a genocide. What do you think that says about the future of our country? Let's open up the discussion that way, Prophet.
Well, I will tell you it's a big concern because just like the governor said, is a genocide. And it's not something that just happened today. It's something that has been happening with several attacks in the past and recently of what happened on the plateau. And so, and you know very well that Plateau is a cosmopolitan city. It houses virtually all Nigerians. And if anything goes wrong with Plateau, everything goes wrong with Nigeria. And so with what is going on, if there is no intervention, there is a bleak future that this country will stand together and this country will be together. So we are actually in a very, very serious time in the history of this country. For instance, of the recent attack, we've seen that in the past. We've followed this in the past. Some of us have even gone to the funeral where we buried in Dogonahawa, over 500 people were massacred. And their communities were displaced, and then the people who attacked came and occupied. We had to, let me use the word, among ourselves, put together all that was required to make sure we repossess some of this land. Now, in some of the communities that were attacked, again on the plateau, over 60 of those communities, the people who attacked those communities displaced the people, killed the people, displaced the people, destroyed the properties of the people, and then, this is the amazing thing about it, now occupy those communities. So, and this tells you a lot about what these people are up to. Now, I can give you, backdating it on several years, how they will come into a community, invade the community, kill the people, displace the people, destroy their property, and take over the place, and they start grazing. And these people it's not that they are not known, please. These people are known, they are there. Some time ago, I raised during the past administration, and I'll be very honest on this. I'm not somebody who tried to double tongue. No. When the past administration, I'll be very honest with you, these people felt it was their government. They felt they were being supported and protected. And you see them move with arms. I raised up, let me use the word, an alarm. I called on the then president to speak to his own people in his own dialect, even though I know he doesn't speak much of the dialect, but that is his own people. They felt that this is their own man, and so they can do whatever they feel like doing. And so they come in, attack, and then when they attack, they clear. In one of the communities I went there, over 200 people were killed. Some of the dead bodies, we pulled them out of the wells. And we had to begin to resettle the people and all of that, and then mobilize local vigilante, because these are not just the local headers that we used to know, but these are Fulani terrorists, that target communities. There are the Fulanis that are the local dwellers. But I'll tell you also that when these terrorists come in, they connive with some of the locals. And so they give them the information. They come in from outside and they invade. But because they have a program, because they have a plan, because they have a mandate, and that mandate is that they must occupy and send the owners of the land away.
We are not saying that, this is a problem of the local Fulanis because, like you said too, a criminal is a criminal. And you are right that, quite a lot of people, not only you yourself, that thought that in the past administration, even people inside the administration, people who served in the Buhari administration, also share the same sentiment that you shared, that it will be a good opportunity, that in fact it was a good opportunity having President Buhari, who is a Fulani leader, to be able to solve the problem. I think he tried in his own ways, but not many people think that, or put differently, many people thought he could have done better. So, and that is why I want to raise this question, that what do we have to do better? What do we have to do to change this trajectory? The governor, and you have also confirmed it, said that there are communities that are now going on that have been seized. The people have been displaced, and you have these intruders taking over the space. About 60 communities. Now, that is not a joke by any means that, or any way we argue this point. So, but my question is, in your own view, what has to change in the way we manage this as a people, both government and the communities and all of us? What has to change, Prophet?
Let me say this, just like you said. My grandmother was a Fulani woman, and also I have in me my grandparents. My grandfather is a Kanuri, so we have a mix. Now the fact is that it's not like I'm criminalizing my own tribe, because I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren, so my grandchildren, they also carry that gene. But the fact is that, let's take for instance what is going on in Borno, in my home state in Borno, the Boko Haram.
Yes.
80% of the people that are involved in Boko Haram are my Kanuri people. And that is the reason why our people are being sincere, that look, this thing is our own people that are doing this harm to our own people. That's why you see that the Boko Haram thing has not been able to spread up, to come over to Plateau, to come over to Oshun and all of that. Everything is just there within the northeast, especially in Borno and Yobe, partly Adamawa. But then if you look at it, when the JTF, the young men took the step to deal with it, you saw that they were able to deal with these Boko Haram boys until political issues again started coming in people who are making money from all of this evil. Okay, but if you look at it, they were able to drive away these Boko Haram boys, clean up Maiduguri, reclaim territories that were lost. Now let's come to this invasion that is going on. This is Fulani terrorists. It's just like what is going on in the southeast with IPOB. I mean, the 90% of the people that are doing the sit-at-home and the killing in the southeast, they are Igbos. That does not mean that the entire nationhood of the Igbo tribe are all into it.
Right.
But we have to call a spade a spade. Right now in this country, and I'm being sincere, that 80% of the terrorists that are displacing people in their own community as headers, they come in as headers. The language they speak, the common language they speak, is Fulani. Not Kanuri, not Igbo,
but Prophet,
not Yoruba.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay, so when you see that, if you want to deal with something, you have to face the reality. Okay, this is what is there. So now, where are these people coming from? What is their mission? For instance, you look at it in September 2023, it is suspected Fulani herdsmen attacked Kulben community in Mangu, all right, resulting in 10 deaths. In November 2022, Fulani militias killed 16 people in Bokos local government. These Bokos that several people were killed recently, all right, and then leaving hundreds of people homeless. In 2018, Fulani herdsmen attacked several villages here on the plateau, which I told you if I'm going to mention the name of those villages. In April 14 to 15, 2018, 32 persons were killed. If you go to the T people in Benue, by these headers. Again, in Nasarawa, you find that certain number of people were killed by these headers. So when you go to Taraba, you are finding the same similar people Similar method. You go to Nasarawa, similar people, similar method. You go to Zamfara, similar people, similar method. You go to the killing that took place in Sokoto, similar people, similar method. But especially Benue and Plateau, similar. They displace the people, destroy their property, and then take over. So if we are going to deal with it, these people are there already. So why don't we mobilize? Because it's a war. When people have come to wipe away your citizen, do you now sit down to negotiate with them? You don't negotiate with people who have come to wipe away your citizen, but rather you wipe away these people who have come to wipe away your people. Now nobody can come after me as a Fulani man. Nobody can come after other of my children or my cousins who are Fulanis and attack them, because they don't do it. We are Fulani people. We are one of the most educated people in the North. We are one of the most entrepreneurship people in the North. We are into political things, knowledgeable people. But you find this small group of people that are tarnishing our image, tarnishing our lineage and our tribe. And the best way is to stand up against them, empower the military and the locals. The best way to deal with these people is the locals should be involved to deal with these people who have come to clear their own land and take over their own land. We had 200 people were killed. I went there. I saw what happened. And these people were just a few meters away. I mobilized the locals. We prayed over it. We buried the dead. And after burying the dead, we started reconstructing the villages. Okay, we reconstructed the village. But the beautiful thing was that the government partnered with us, with the armed forces, and those people were sent away. So right now, that community has been saved. They have never come back to that community again because the locals have been trained to defend themselves. So if we're going to deal with the issue, like the issue of the Fulani militia, then the community must be allowed, backed up by the government, all that is required to displace them. I'm telling you, sir, it wouldn't take us 1 week to deal with these people. They are there. Just give the locals the right, liberty, and then the backing of the military to move in there. Take sentiments out of it. Okay? Oh, the international community may think this, but these are people that have declared war. They have declared war on your people. I mean, within the past 1 month, we have lost over 100 people. Millions of families have been displaced. People have been displaced just because of a few group of criminals. And these criminals are terrorists. Let's call them as they are. So if you're going to deal with terrorists, how will America deal with terrorists? How will Great Britain deal with terrorists? How will Ukraine or Russia deal with terrorists? If they will not allow terrorists to occupy just a small space in their nation, why should we as a nation allow terrorists to be expanding their territory? Benue bloodletting, Plateau bloodletting, Zamfara bloodletting, Borno bloodletting. No, I believe we have the solution. And that solution is for the government now to be serious and honest. Call a spade, and go after these people and wipe them away. That's the only answer.
Thank you so much. Let me just follow up, to say that some of the sentiments that you have expressed, in terms of the fact that, these people can be identified, just like when we're talking about hypop, in the southeast, we're talking about Igbos, but we're not saying that it's the entirety of the Igbos. As a matter of fact, when you talk about, the Odudua activists in Yoruba land, people like Sunday Igboho, we're not talking about the entire group. And it's important to know that anyone that does a crime, should be confronted. And I think, even President Buhari, at least in terms of his public statements, asserted as much as that. What has happened, in my view, and then I'll let you comment, is that we have not been able as a people, especially the elites, to reach a consensus among all of us as to how to deal with this problem. For instance, just a few days ago, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, issued a statement on the latest killings in Plateau to say that he has advised the Governor Mufwang on what to do. I wanted to ask you, what's your own take? I mean, a lot of people are saying that, well, look, Mr. President, we don't know whether this is a question of you advising the governor. You control the reins. The buck stops at your table. You know, Prophet, what's your take on that?
The first thing, he's the commander-in-chief. Yes, I appreciate Governor Mufwang is the state governor. He's the chief security officer of the state. But I tell you the truth. There is this thing that the state governors are limited. If it is left like, okay, I give you all the powers, go ahead and do what you need to do, the governors will do what they need to do. They will engage their community. But this one that you have to wait for a command, the commandants on ground will have to wait for command from Abuja. The president is the commander-in-chief. If he comes down on the plateau himself, for instance, since this thing has happened, the president has not visited. He should come down himself. I expected that the president at this point will actually come down here, even for a few hours, instruct that this community should be taken over in 24 hours. The military, they have the capability. The military, they have the capacity. With all that we have got, the Tecanos and all of that, these people are there. They have sophisticated weapons. They are there. So it's not something that is invisible. If we start with these 60 communities, I'm telling you, this thing will stop. Then the next thing is empower the community. Allow the community to lead the fight. Because the community, they are the ones who own their community. Invaders have come. They are wiping them away. Now, it's not political, being politically, let me use the word, correct. But it's standing on what is right. So the first thing is let the president come down and give a state of emergency. The same thing he did in Rivers. If the president can do what he did in Rivers without even a fight, without any soul being killed in Rivers, and he declared the state of emergency, if he can declare the state of emergency on security, we will get this matter done in 72 hours. Whether it is Plateau or Borno, my state. The governor is crying now. It's because the locals have not been allowed to deal with these terrorists. I have said this over and over. Terrorists don't repent. They can surrender because they have been overpowered. But if you want to deal with terrorists, clear terrorists out. Wipe them out, or else you will continue to waste your resources trying to secure your people, and you can never secure your people. That's why America don't treat terrorists lightly. They deal with them. So mine is President Bola Tinubu should show the leadership, not just speaking to the governor. Give the backing. Come down here. See the people for yourself that have been displaced. Then instruct the chief of defense staff and all his apparatus, move to Plateau. These 60 communities, reclaim them in 72 hours. And we will see that